Good evening. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Welcome to a slug 'em back, slug 'em down, sock it out Sunday here in a sweltering mid-sack. It is the witching hour here Sunday night. I am the redoubtable one. Actually, I am not the redoubtable one. He is on assignment. Actually, he doesn't know about the assignment because tonight's a solo show. It's a solo show for two reasons. One, because today is National Left-Handers Day, for those of you not in the know. And also, they are closing in on the last day or last morning of the RJ weekend up in the Northern Territory. Again, where the hunting and fishing is still good. The shenanigans are countless. The shamelessness is off the charts. And the ballyhoo knows no bounds. So there will be a special segment for those six gentlemen, for those six individuals, in segment two. I am the highly questionable one, Arjun Miliaccio. Welcome back. It was sweltering all day down here. I can't imagine what it was like up north, but down here it was flirting with 100, and the heat and the humidity, not the hint of a breeze. Even going to the pool would have been like dumping into bath water. The ocean would have been your best bet for a cool-in this weekend, boys and girls. But nonetheless, I am here and I am ready to go. Segment one, we will begin. It'll be two parts in this segment. One will be the Boston Red Sox, who rebounded today after a 6-2 loss yesterday. The Bats woke up 6-3 to take 2 out of 3 from Detroit. Homers came from Story and Duvall, and Crawford did most of the work, 4 2/3 innings, but guy came in, I forget who it was, he got the win, one of the middle relievers. And Kenley Jansen got his 27th save. Impressive. So they go 5-2 on the homestand, which the redoubtable one himself and I said 5-2 was the bare minimum. They are 3 back with plenty of time left, and they are heading down my way for at least 2 games with the Nationals starting on Tuesday. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. Nationals aren't as bad as their record, so it should be interesting. But they're in it. They're in it on August 13th. Nobody with a brain between their ears thought that was possible. No one I know mentioned it. And again, the highest prediction I saw from anyone was 3rd place. And they're not really in 3rd place right now. They're 11 out of 1st. They're in 4th place. Yankees dropped a heartbreaker. They only gave up 5 runs in the 9th to lose. So they are now 2 behind the Red Sox. Boston is trailing Toronto by 3. And in between them and Toronto is Seattle, who is a game and a half back of the Jays. So it's going to be interesting. They're alive, at least for the foreseeable future. We'll see how long this lasts. And hopefully Chris Sale can continue what he's been doing. And to pick right up where he left off after 60 days in the DL was pretty impressive. So they got a shot. I don't know how good a shot it is, but they got a shot. The fact that they even have a shot is a miracle because no one thought they'd have a shot. So to go from no shot to a legit shot, that in and of itself is an accomplishment. But where I hail from up there in Massachusetts, coming close is no consolation prize, and no one's going to care if they don't get in at the end of the day. So especially given the market they're in and the money that their owner has to spend. Boston is not a small market, and to treat that team that way is insulting to its fan base. It's incredibly loyal, diehard, century-long fan base. So we'll see what happens, but they are trending in the right direction. They are in it, and if they got to look. We said this before, take care of what you got to take care of and beat the teams you're supposed to beat. They should beat the Nationals. If they're down here for 3 games, they should take at least 2. We'll see how that pans out. But it's going to be interesting. Hopefully they can stay healthy. They've got great contributions from a number of people this year that weren't on anybody's radar when the season started. So hopefully those trends can continue and their offense can wake up and get back to where it was a couple of weeks ago, which is where it's been for the season. It's been one of the better offenses in the league, surprisingly. So, But Story went 4 for 4 today with 4 RBIs. He was the hero on offense. And don't know that guy from a hole in the wall. So I'm probably not the only one. But I will be tuning in because we will have them on regular TV down here. I have the baseball package ticket, so I see all the games anyway with the Red Sox. But they'll be on regular TV down here. And the Nationals aren't really playing for anything. So hopefully Boston will take advantage of this. I believe Toronto is dealing with, if memory serves, let's look at Technology America. Toronto, their schedule I believe they are. Yeah, they've got 2 with Philadelphia, who's on fire. Then they've got Cincinnati, and then they've got 3 with Baltimore, then Cleveland. So this stretch is where the Red Sox can really make some hay on these guys. And then in terms of the Red Sox, where they are, Seattle, who's also in front of us. Seattle's next couple of weeks, they've got Laffers with KC, but then they got Houston for 3. Chicago and KC, the A's, and the Mets. So look at Seattle's going to have a shot at this thing. Hopefully, Houston can take care of business. KC, they've got 7 games coming up with KC in the next month. 7 with KC. That's good for them, bad for the Red Sox. And then in terms of what Boston's immediate schedule looks like, again they've got the Nationals. For 3, the Yankees they go to the Bronx, and then they go to Houston, and then they've got the Dodgers, and they've got Houston again. This next stretch is going to tell us everything we need to know about the 2023 Red Sox, because after the Nationals and the Yankees, who are still hanging around, it's going to just get harder. So that's a brutal schedule over the next 3 weeks. We'll see what they do. But they're going to have to, at some point, if you want to be a playoff team, you've got to beat some playoff teams and do it convincingly. So it's in front of them. Chris Sale appears to be healthy. They've got a closer. They've got some bats. Let's see what they can do. And I do believe they have the best manager in baseball, despite some of the things he's done wrong recently, which, trust me, given what he's done for the year, it's not even a blip on the radar yet. But here they are, and we'll see what they do. Transitioning into the NFL preseason week 1, I believe, wrapped up today. The Raiders had their way with the Niners. I think it was 34-7. And I forget what the earlier game. New Orleans beat Kansas City pretty handily as well. I think Mahomes played in that game but didn't do a whole lot. But it's week 1. Anybody getting excited about week 1 beyond some individual performances doesn't know anything about football. So just so you know, the Baltimore Ravens haven't lost a preseason game in like 4 or 5 years. And they don't have a single Super Bowl to show for it. So there you go. So don't get overexcited about preseason. It's about health. It's about developing certain players where your team is weak, and we'll see what happens there. In terms of the Patriots, I don't I don't mean to be that guy, but there are times when you don't really leave me much of a choice, because when I hear Bailey Zappi, that bullshit was bad enough. And granted, he was behind a terrible offensive line, but that, D'Amico Ryans couldn't have made that big of an impact in a couple of months. The fact that he couldn't get the ball downfield except for one play or really generate any offense at all against the Houston Texans of all people. Yeah, the line was bad. That's part of it. It's not all on him. But nothing he did said to me that he was anything more than a backup. Okay? And this Malik Cunningham crap, I swear to God, look, this is our own fault because Tom Brady was 4th on the depth chart when we drafted him. Every time a guy who's down the depth chart does anything, we think Tom Brady. And I get why you think that, but the reality is Tom Brady is a 1 in a million, once in a century player. He is. He's Babe Ruth. He's Bill Russell. That's what he is. Okay? And every time a guy comes in and scores a touchdown from the third string against a bunch of future real estate, insurance, car salesmen, you can't get excited about that, America. You just can't. Or Patriot Nation. I'm talking to Patriot Nation right now. Does that mean that he doesn't have or couldn't have a role on this team? I'm sure he could if Bill O'Brien's as creative as we think he is. But anyone thinks he's going to unseat Mac Jones. I mean, I don't know what you're snorting, but I want the name of your dealer. Because honestly, there is nothing I saw that makes me think he could be the starter week 1 unless Mac Jones suddenly breaks his leg tomorrow. Because if that happens, all right, then we can have a conversation about whether it's Zappi or him to replace Jones until he gets healthy. But if Mac Jones is upright and healthy, it's Mac Jones' team. Seriously, get that in your fucking heads. And stop forgetting who this guy is and where he comes from, I might add. And stop dismissing the impact of Matt Patricia and Joe Judge. Okay? Those two bumbling boobs destroyed Danny Dimes, and Jared Goff in the same couple-year span. Then the second those two left their buildings, those two, their games went up tenfold. And they didn't have, at least especially in the case of Danny Dimes, he had one weapon, and look what he did. So Mac Jones, who made a Pro Bowl, who was run up to Jamar Chase for NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, I might add, his rookie year. And he did that with Josh McDaniels, who's never done a damn thing without Tom Brady either. Now he's got a coordinator that's the one guy who's had success without Tom Brady, Bill O'Brien. And they've got a slew of weapons. Yeah, they don't have the sexy home run number one, but they've got a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. And they've got a 1,000-yard running back. And they've got a top 5 possible defense if Belichick's the guru that you all think he is. There's no reason to think the Patriots, who won 8 games with those two bumbling boobs last year, won't be better this year. I don't want to hear about how tough their schedule is. Who was afraid of the Dallas Cowboys when Dak Prescott's your quarterback and Jerry Jones is the owner? What have they done in the last 28 years? I'll give you a hint. Nothing. Naval lint. They've got 3 playoff wins. Who gives a shit about the Dallas Cowboys? Okay? The Philadelphia Eagles, who have a lot of talent, but they're switching offensive and defensive coordinators. They had 2 weeks to prepare for a one-legged Patrick Mahomes and couldn't stop him with just Travis Kelce. And we have Juju Smith-Schuster, who is their second best receiver. He's now with us. Okay? The Giants, I think, are going to be better than they were last year, but I still think the Patriots have a better defense, and I think they have the better coach. At least they're supposed to. So I don't know who's better, Danny Dimes or Mac Jones yet, but that'll be a fun game. And then the Commanders, they're already destroying their season with the damn head coach undermining the new offensive coordinator. So, I mean, are we really scared about this? Come on. I mean, you saw the look on that idiot Dolphins head coach. What's his name? The geek there, the little freaking bean counter there, when they lost a preseason game that he shouldn't have been that upset about. He looked like someone stole his freaking homework. I mean, like someone kicked him out of the Glee Club. It was ridiculous. I mean, that guy, come on. And Salah for New York, what have these coaches proven they've done? What is on their resume that scares you? Seriously. And both the Dolphins and the Jets have very, very, very bad offensive lines. That's not good facing the Patriots front seven. Okay? I don't care who their quarterback is. At the end of the day, if your offensive line can't protect you, it doesn't matter who's back there. Look what happened to Tom Brady last year. Look what happened to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Those are the 2 best quarterbacks I've seen in the past 10, 20 years. And they couldn't overcome the loss of a couple offensive linemen. The Jets and the Dolphins both have real problems on that front line. Neither one of them addressed them. And their defenses aren't as good as New England's. And supposedly, their coaches aren't as good either. Advantage Patriots. As far as Buffalo goes, I mean, I'm sick and tired of hearing about this team with all this talent. But then when push comes to shove, what have they really done? They've proven when the moment gets biggest, it's too big for them. That's all they've proven to me. And their coach hasn't sold me on his greatness yet either. So honestly, every one of these games is there to be had. Every one of these opponents is beatable. And it doesn't take a wing and a prayer to do it. You have to play smart, fundamental football. You have to minimize the injuries as best you can. Okay? And we have to have some player development, particularly on the outside, in terms of talent. All of that is attainable without going to the what do you call it, the fortune teller lady, the whoever, make it, going setting it, going to a if you live in Hawaii, they go to that altar and place a lava rock, wrap it in a tiki leaf, and make a wish. You're doing that shit. Okay, none of this stuff needs to happen. Okay, we don't need some mojo man, rubbing the goat's testicles, making a wish for us. No, that doesn't have to happen. Okay, they literally just have to do their job. And they have an offensive coordinator now who is innovative, who knows how to use whatever he's dealt in terms of a hand and get the most out of it. That is his track record. They've got a top 5 defense and supposedly the greatest coach that ever lived. Well, I still keep hearing this in spite of all the things. And again, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Bill Belichick, I think, can coach. And I said this on our last show. Bill Belichick, the GM, hurts Bill Belichick, the coach. If Bill Beck, the GM, would just get out of the way and do some of the obvious, he would make Bill Belichick, the coach's life, a lot easier. He would. Okay? And I think he made a lot of good moves this offseason. The one he didn't make was getting DeAndre Hopkins. But again, I don't think that's a big loss because I think that they've got 2 guys in this organization, one of them Demario Douglas and the other Tyquan Thornton, that can more than make up for him if they let O'Brien play. And I think they're going to, because I don't think they have a choice. Because I think the owner has put his foot down and told Bill Belichick, in not so many words, it's win or else. 8-9 ain't going to cut it this year, Bill. 7, 8, and 10 ain't gonna, again, the only way Bill Belichick gets out of this unscathed is a playoff win, a playoff appearance, and at least one win, or major injury. Because if they don't make it, it better be due to major injury. Otherwise, Bill Belichick's in a lot of trouble. And if you don't believe that, you're not listening to your owner. One thing I know about Robert Kraft, when it comes to this football team, he's generally a man of his word. He usually is. So that bodes well for us. Bodes bad for the rest of the AFC. And again, then there's whatever happens to the trade deadline. There are going to be receivers out there to be had at the trade deadline because there are going to be teams like the Rams who are probably going to be sellers at the trade deadline. There's going to be the Patriots are going to have a chance to add something to this team later on in the year if they so desire. And if they're close, which I think they're going to be, they may just do that. We'll see. There's still running backs out there that nobody's signed. Dalvin Cook is still out there. Ezekiel Elliott's still out there. There's still talent you can add to this roster. Okay? And the Patriots have the money to do it. So they're dealing from a position of strength. Their peers are not. So we'll see what they do here. But I am cautiously, I'm very optimistic because I think Bill Belichick is in the hot seat. I think he knows it. So whatever this man has left as a competitor, I think we're going to see it because I don't think he's got too much of an ego to go out like this. Let's be honest. Okay? He's got too much of an ego to go out like this. So I'm not going to bet against him right now when I know that this might be his last coaching job. Because if he wants to go somewhere else and is demanding total control, anyone looking at his resume wouldn't give it to him. Wouldn't give it to him. And if he's in that position, that proves once again that he couldn't win without Tom Brady. And sometimes the easiest answer is the answer that's right in front of you. So for Bill right now, it's put up or shut up. And I love this because either way, I'm going to be happy. So either way, he's either going to win and finally do the things that he should have been doing all along, or he's going to get the hell out of here and have to listen to his arrogant ass again. Okay? So either way, I'm going to be happy here. I can't lose. It's beautiful. I can't lose. Okay? I'm in a position of strength here. All right? So we'll see what happens with that. As far as the rest of the league right now, in terms of what we saw, we've seen some injuries. Devontae Adams got hurt this past weekend, the Raider receiver. Hopefully it's not too serious. You don't want to see guys go down, especially with nothing happening. But and Joe Burrow is still out for the Cincinnati Bengals. So that's two very key players in a very, very loaded AFC that those teams can ill afford to go time without. So we'll see what happens with those. Event, we're going to wrap this segment up on that. Listen, Malik Cunningham might have a future with the Patriots, but he's not going to unseat Mac Jones, at least not this season, and get that through your head unless Mac Jones gets hurt. So, and if you're wishing that on Mac Jones, then something's fundamentally wrong with you, okay? Because you're ignoring the Joe Judge, Matt Patricia factor. Just look at their history and look at the quarterbacks that they destroyed before they got to Mac Jones. And then maybe you'll cut Mac Jones some slack, okay? But I promise you this, Mac Jones, if he's healthy, is going to have a better year this year than he had his rookie year. Book it. Okay? So that'll do it for segment 1. We'll come back, segment 2, all things the six-pack. Most of you don't know who they are. There's a reason for that. I'll let you a little behind the curtain. I'm not going to divulge anything specific about them, but because trust me, it's better for the general public. The less they know, the safer they are. In any event, we'll see you in segment 2, the six-pack. A tribute to you, gentlemen, coming right up.